You're watching highlights of the Solon City Council meeting on July 6, 2026. Follow your local governments at cgov.org.
Several development projects were waiting on one key step from City Council before they could move forward. This was the moment Council weighed in on those variances and cleared the way for construction to begin.
An application was received for 34505 Cannon Road, Dr. Jesse Bach and Courtney Mintz for a 32-square-foot accessory structure size variance. This was approved by the Planning Commission contingent upon compliance with the requirements of the Planning Department memo dated May 20th, 2026, and the Engineering Department memo dated May 21st, 2026. Dr. Jesse Bach was present and agreed to the requirements. An application was received for 6262 Cochrane Road, South Main Investors, LLC, for a 16-space required parking spaces variance, a variance to not install curbing, and a recommendation for site plan. All items were approved by the Planning Commission contingent upon compliance with the requirements of the Planning Department memo dated June 15th, 2026, and the Engineering Department memo dated June 17th, 2026. Mr. Sean Shahadpour from Cone Development and Mr. Brian Adams from DGL Consulting Engineers were present, representing the applicant, and agreed to the requirements.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and make the motion that we approve these agenda items so they can start their projects, please.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bentley, seconded by Mr. Zelwin. Roll call.
Mr. Bentley?
Yes.
Mr. Khan?
Yes.
Mr. Lobsher? Mrs. Meany?
Yes.
Mr. Palunas? Mr. Shimitz?
Yes.
Mr. Zelwin?
Yes.
Council was asked to move forward on new police vehicles and equipment, but some key details were still up in the air. See how they handled the decision when the information hadn't fully arrived.
Ordinance number 2026-61, authorizing the purchase of 4 2026 Ford Police Interceptors with trade-in for the police department from Montrose Ford as part of the annual fleet replacement program and declaring an emergency. This item has had 3 readings.
And we discussed this, and the chief at this point, is still waiting to kind of get an answer on this, so we'll just leave this on third reading.
Ordinance number 2026-62, authorizing the purchase of upfitting equipment for 4 2026 Ford Police Interceptors from Hall Public Safety Upfitters for use by the police department and declaring an emergency. This has had 3 readings.
Okay, again, we have no updated information, so we'll leave this on the agenda.
A grant opportunity for new trail property sounded straightforward at first, but Council did not all see it the same way. This was the moment they weighed future costs against the promise of expanding the city's trail system.
Ordinance number 2026-98, authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute and submit an application to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources NatureWorks Grant Program to pursue funding for property acquisition for permanent parcel numbers 956-09022 and 956-09023 on Russell Drive and declaring an emergency.
We discussed this in caucus, and we have decided that we are going to move forward with this this evening.
However, I'm not going to vote to support this because of the potential costs that are not known by the city that could be encumbered due to the need or desire from the state of Ohio for us to put a parking lot in that could cost more money than I think should be spent on a parking lot for a trail that's not even a mile long. So I just wanted, I'm not going to hold up the consent so we can vote, but I'm also not going to vote to support this.
I think this all sort of goes with our plan of trails and, having this preserve that, people might come and say, hey, we can go see this, we can go see that, plus we have the Metro Parks. So like I say, I'm comfortable because all of this is tonight is just to see, applying for the grant. So I'm comfortable. There's no money's going out right now, so I'm comfortable.
Charter changes were on the table, and one council member signaled plans to revise how a key city position could work for other communities. Residents were invited to stay engaged as the public hearing stayed open and more feedback rolled in.
I talked to some of the people on the Charter Review Committee. I'm not making any amendments tonight. I'll hold that for the next meeting as we vote. But I'm going to make an amendment to this one next week to change the language that would require this position to not hold a similar job at another city. But I'll make that amendment we have grant writers and other people that work at the city that work at other cities, so I'm not comfortable with that language, but I'll make that amendment next week.
Again, we're going to leave the public hearing open on all of these. I would really encourage our residents to take a look at these. Please come to the next meeting. If you have any concerns, or certainly contact any of us up here who represent you. And I do just want to make a comment. I know our planning director, Mr. Iona, will be coming out with a memo. A lot of this does impact his department, would be involved in a lot of this. So he will be coming out with a memo for all of us and for the Charter Review Commission. And that should be within the next couple days. Okay, so we'll have that information, and then I know all of us probably will have some comments. But as I've said before, and I'll say it again, thank you so much to this committee. You guys really, you really dug in there, as they say, so thank you.
A local restaurant's request for a liquor permit came before council, with no objections on the record. Here's how they handled this everyday but important decision for a neighborhood business.
A liquor permit application was received from Simply Greek at 34501 Aurora Road, and no objections were received from reporting directors.
Yes, this is to approve a liquor permit application for Simply Greek, and there were no objections from any directors, so I move to approve the liquor permit as submitted.
Council took up an emergency vote that tied together a major employer incentive and a key highway interchange project. Stay with this moment to see how quickly they moved when jobs and traffic improvements were on the line.
Yes, this is to approve an economic development job creation grant for Pacific Scientific Energetic Materials, LLC, and declaring an emergency so that we do not delay the incentives applied for.
Yes, this ordinance amends the ordinance number 2020-154, which accepted a scope and fee proposal from GPD Group for the preparation of plans and specifications for the construction of the Harper Road Diverging Diamond Interchange project in the amount of $43,000, declaring an emergency.
Move for passage under suspension.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Palunas, seconded by Mr. Zelwin. Roll call under suspension.
Mr. Bentley?
Yes.
Mr. Khan?
Yes.
Mr. Lobsher? Yes. Mrs. Meany? Mr. Palunas?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Mr. Zelwin?
Yes.
Final passage.
Mr. Bentley?
Yes.
Mr. Khan?
Yes.
Mr. Lobsher?
Yes.
Mrs. Meany?
Yes.
Mr. Palunas?
Yes.
Mr. Schmitz?
Yes.
Mr. Zelwin?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to comments from the administration.
After a major hailstorm, residents were running into problems with insurance and the city's siding and roof rules, and Mr. Iona came with a plan to make that easier. Stay with this moment to hear how city staff prepared new resources and policy guidance to help people navigate the repairs.
At the last meeting, the mayor had discussed that staff and administration would examine the language, and then I was tasked with that because they do pertain heavily to my department, what we do. I've been working with legal counsel to create a memo and come up with some of these recommendations, and that memo will go out tomorrow. In our 5% rule, a lot of folks are having issues where their insurance company will not replace all of their siding, or they'll only replace a portion of it. Our requirement is that if you replace more than 5% of your siding or your roof, you have to do the whole thing. A lot of folks have needed a letter for their insurance company. We have created a stock letter, which we will put on our website, and we will also post it to our social media account. So please feel free to share that. I will send it around to you all when it gets final approval. So that way we just have that resource ready for folks. We've already seen an onslaught of hundreds, if not thousands or more new permits this year for siding, roof, and other things that were created from the hailstorm. So, and I think we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg with those types of permits. So just looking to help out our residents. And again, we'll send that info out to you all.
This moment wrapped together parks appreciation, community resilience, and even a reminder about how to stack tree branches at the curb. Stay with it to hear how city staff connected everyday details to the bigger picture of serving residents.
This year's celebration centers on 4 themes that capture what our parks and programs deliver every single day, and that's the power of ... The power of community in festivals, events, and shared public spaces. The power of belonging in all-encompassing programs and welcoming park environments. The power of well-being in physical activity, wellness, and other health initiatives. And finally, the power of nature in our parks, trails, green spaces, and sustainability efforts. The work of the Park and Recreation professional carries on across many years. The facilities and programs we build today are meant to serve not just our community, current community, but generations still to come. Parks like this outlast any one closure, and we all know that our park is closed temporarily right now. This project is disruptive now, but it's part of making sure this place is still here, still working for the next 20 years of families. So to our community, thank you for your patience during this construction. The work of the Parks and Recreation employee does not happen in a vacuum. It happens because residents show up. You register your kids for camp, you attend our special events, you walk our trails, you sit in our fields and courts, and you tell us honestly when something needs to improve. That partnership is what makes the Solon Parks and Recreation Department worth showing up for every day. Thank you for trusting us with your time, your families, and your feedback, and for giving us the privilege of serving you.
Just real quickly, I wanted to highlight the tragedy that happened in Rittman, Ohio yesterday. We lost police officer Sergeant Scott Rise of the Rittman Police Department. A number of civilians were killed and some other officers were injured. So just keep that community in your thoughts and prayers tonight, please.
Yes, I'd like to thank the administration, City Council, and the community for supporting the fire department, the Century Open House. We had a very good, a lot of people showed up, and we're very thankful, even though we had some pretty bad weather that night. So thank you very much.
Brush pickup is really only designed for residents who are doing some minor tree trimming and things like that. It's not for whole tree removals or when residents put whole logs on their lawns. If they are doing that type of work for themselves, then I would be much appreciated if they would order a truck drop through the service department so that they can load it themselves, because our equipment really isn't geared towards having large logs or things like that out on the street. Our policy is typically to spend 15 to 20 minutes at each household. When we have to spend more time than that at each house, then it burdens the whole system and it ends up taking much longer than what it should to make it through the city.
During public comments, a resident connected the 4th of July milestone to a call for climate responsibility and local action. Hear how they urged Solon to think about trees, heat waves, and what each of us can do next.
Honorable members of Solon City Council and fellow Solon residents, we have just celebrated the 250th anniversary of American independence and the enduring strength of our democracy. On this historic occasion, I congratulate all Americans and say, God bless America and long live democracy. Freedom, however, comes with responsibility. One of our greatest responsibilities today is to protect our environment so that Earth remains a healthy and livable home for future generations and for all plants and animal species. All plants and animal species. More than 1,000 excess deaths occurred in Europe due to this heat wave, which is another reminder of the growing impact of climate change. Here in the United States, many regions also experienced prolonged temperature above 95 degrees Fahrenheit during the first week of July. Scientists continue to warn that extreme heat, drought, floods, and severe weather events are becoming more frequent as our climate changes. I encourage the city of Solon to identify every suitable location for planting trees along roads, in parks or public property, and wherever feasible. I also encourage residents to plant, this is more important I think, I also encourage residents to plant and care for trees on their own properties whenever and wherever it is possible. Together, though many small actions, we can make a meaningful difference. Let us work together to make our planet a healthier and greener earth for future generations.
When a proposed trail grant came up, one speaker pushed back hard on the hidden costs and the way cars shape the city's future. Listen in as they challenged council to choose walkability and long-term budget stability over more surface parking.
This very likely, if we reject it, will have an adverse effect with ODNR. Also, the grant only covers 75%. So we are essentially committing to encumbering the city with 25% of the cost for this property acquisition. The costs don't end there. We have construction costs. We have maintenance costs. It's going to encumber future budgets. And, I can understand why we would need this, but I think at this point in the city, we need to be strict on achieving general fund stability. Also, this space isn't consistent with walkability. People right now can park on the street. We have so much surface parking in the city. We have this beautiful space, and we're going to have cars sending their exhaust fumes into the woods. What's the point of creating these beautiful walkable spaces in the city if we have to drive to them? If we're serious about building a city for people, and I think we all are, a city for people, not just for cars, then we need to stop feeding the cars. Stop building surface parking. Stop building roads that are only for cars. Instead, let's build the infrastructure to bike or walk to these spaces. We can't just talk about walkability and bikeability in a piecemeal way in certain places. This is a walkable space. That's a walkable space. Then we have to drive to that space. We need to have a holistic view for the whole city.
That's our look at this council meeting. Everything from development approvals and trail grant debates to charter changes, storm repair help, and everyday items like police vehicles and a local liquor permit. The public hearing on the charter updates and those pending police ordinances will be back at future meetings. So keep an eye out for our next highlight reel to see what happens next.
Thank you for watching CGov.